everyone. I'm Nicole Sellars. I am founder of TV Hosting Academy, and I'm also a certified professional coach specializing in broadcast media. And we are talking today about YouTube. We have Kevin Kolbe here today. He's a YouTube expert, content creator, and he just created a mini course for us at TV Hosting Academy all about YouTube. So, Kevin, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about what you do, your background, and why we need to jump into YouTube right now.
Thanks so much for having me on here. And I would like to clear up for anybody watching this, I am not Willie Nelson. It's the question I
How
get
many
all the
times did you
time.
get that? How many
I don't,
times did
honestly, I think it was my oldest son who started that when he was young, and that's why immediately I cut him out of the will.
Of course.
Just joking. So yeah, so as Nicole said, and we actually share a common background. I started in radio and I was in television for a long time. Because of my looks, I was behind the camera, where Nicole, she was in front of the camera. And I was in creative services for a long time. A lot of different stations, worked for Fox and NBC and CBS and ABC affiliates. And eventually the position went away like it did. And now I just run my own business of one. I'm a solo content creator and video producer and work with a lot of different folks, just helping them do more with video because that is the way to go. And yeah, YouTube. Look, YouTube. We used YouTube when I was in television,
Mm,
but it was just to kind of, well, we had to put the news story somewhere, and
yeah.
so we put them there, and we put our promos on there, and it wasn't really using it that way. And so when the position went away, I started just throwing everything, and I'll start a YouTube channel because that's what people do. But then when I really started getting serious about it and applying the things that I had been learning that I knew, and there's no exact formula that'll just blow up for you, but it is my core platform. It's where I post to. As a friend of mine says, it's the hill I'll die on for social media.
Yeah,
But
but there's a strategy behind it. You
oh
can't
my
just throw
word,
out
yeah.
content and expect to gain traction.
No, I mean, and so here's the beauty. YouTube is absolutely free, and I'm sure folks will say, well, isn't Instagram free and Facebook free? And yeah, they are, but there is no platform like YouTube, which isn't really technically a social media platform. A lot of times I'll lump it that way, but it's really not. It's a website. It's a search engine.
It's a search engine.
It's a
Exactly.
search engine, and you can absolutely, anybody can start a YouTube channel and anybody can do anything they want with it. Tim Schmoyer of Video Creators, who just sold his company to vidIQ, he actually started YouTube years ago as a way to post videos about his girlfriend, who eventually became his fiance and wife, to share with the family.
Wow. That's
And
a
I
nice
think it
little nugget, Kevin.
worked out for him.
It did. It
So,
did.
but yeah, you can do everything. But when you really lean into YouTube and you understand the power of it and the platform that YouTube gives content creators or nonprofits or businesses or entrepreneurs, there is nothing like it. Absolutely nothing like it. And YouTube gives you all
Well,
the
we're
tools you
all
need.
content creators now. We have to be. As business owners, experts,
Absolutely.
entrepreneurs, we have to be in charge of our own marketing and branding.
Yep.
And that's what I wanted to talk to you about is kind of the simplicity of it. Because as a business owner or, a small business owner, you don't have a huge marketing budget. You
Mm-mm.
don't have tens of thousands of dollars to hire a marketing agency. This is something that you can do at home with a simple setup. Talk us
Absolutely.
through the simplicity of it.
Yeah, and that's a great question because I think a lot of folks feel like, well, when I get the right gear, when I get the right camera, I get the right mic, I have the right look, then I'll start. And the reality of it is, the majority of folks out there, if they can hear you and you're bringing value, that's all that really matters. And so you use what you've got. I mean, I I used to really um, be a jerk about webcams. It'd be like, well, you don't want to use a webcam, do you? And now it's like, you know what? If that's what you've got, and that gets you producing, it gets you creating, then use it.
Progress
Absolutely use it.
over perfection. I always say that. Get it
Absolutely.
started. And, I found something really cool today. I have a new MacBook Pro, and there's a portrait mode on there
Mm,
that actually blurs the background.
yeah.
So I found this out actually through the Ecamm Live community. I was asking questions because I'm always in there asking questions and kind of trolling and seeing what's going on. And I said, how do I get that DSLR kind of like blurry background
Hmm.
look without spending a ton of money on a DSLR camera? So I said, is there a way to shoot in portrait mode? Because there were a lot of people that I was seeing, they were doing lives on Instagram and they had all this, really cool looking depth to their
Hmm.
picture. So I went on my laptop, I recorded on Zoom, and I put it in portrait mode, and it had a really beautiful blurry kind of depth to it.
Yeah.
So you don't need anything
No.
fancy.
Mm-mm.
I had my laptop and I had my iPhone, and that was it. You just got
Yeah.
to be creative, but good audio, very important.
Well, I mean, audio is really the most important part of video. Lighting is probably up there. I think what happens is a lot of folks when they're starting out, they buy the camera,
Mhm.
or they'll want to know what's the best camera. And then they'll buy the camera, and it's like, well, but there's other things you need. I mean, they need to be able to see you and hear you.
Right.
If all you've got, and I don't mean it that way, but if the only thing you have access to is natural light, use it. It's free.
Use it.
God turned the light on for you. Just go ahead and use it.
Just
You
use
know,
it.
and then you can add gear as you go. But audio is the most important thing.
Mhm.
You can have the best setup, period. But if someone can't hear what you're saying, they'll just click off and watch something else,
They're moving.
And even okay audio is better than just like no audio at all. Like know where the mic, like you're talking at the mic. I've got the mic here. If I were across the room, it'd be harder to hear me, and you'd probably go, yeah, I'm just going to watch something else. So yeah.
Right. Let's talk about content creation, but also the concepts, like coming up with a really good concept for a channel,
Yeah.
for a segment. What are kind of your go-to tips? Do you search Google and see what people are searching? What has the highest views? What has the most subscribers? What channels are the most popular? What's kind of your go-to strategy?
Yeah, and it's probably been refined over time. One of the things that I have found, what I keep saying to folks is that Facebook groups, I think, have become the new Google.
Yeah.
Is that not to be mean, but your question in the Ecamm community, which I saw, so I was
Oh, you
lurking,
did?
which I
Yeah.
saw, that's a Google question, right? But
Hmm.
by asking it in a group, a lot of times, you want somebody just to like give you the quicker answer and stuff like that. I'm not ragging on you, really not. But what I've
I'm
noticed,
engaging. I'm engaging.
what I've noticed is in a lot of the groups that I'm in, people are just like, "Hey, I bought a new camera. How do you turn it on?"
Yeah.
I mean, I'm being a little silly, but there's some questions like that, or I'm using Ecamm Live. How do I connect it to YouTube?
Right.
And it's like, okay, that's a question maybe I can. In fact, I've done some videos where somebody asked a question in there,
That's such a
and
good
it's like,
point.
well, if one person asked that, there's probably a bunch more who
Yes.
wondered it, you
Yes, it's
know?
like focus groups. I use Facebook groups
Absolutely.
like focus groups. So any questions that you see
Yes.
among your ideal audience,
Yeah.
that's a great concept for a
Yeah,
YouTube video.
yeah, absolutely. Questions in your YouTube comment. People have asked things before, and I'm like, that's a great. If you can answer it, that's a great question. I didn't think about that, but it's
Right.
also your own background. I mean, like I've done this long enough where I know what I don't know,
Yeah.
and I can only go so deep on lighting and audio. I'm not an audio engineer. I know enough
Mhm.
about good audio and bad audio, but I'm not going to show you how to do a 3D animation because I don't know how to do a 3D animation.
That's not your niche.
No. So a lot of times it's looking at groups and also Google. I mean, you can go in and search in Google, but here's the cooler thing. YouTube's a search engine, like we talked about, right? So if you go to the YouTube search bar and you type in, like grill steak,
Mhm.
it's going to start showing you what people are looking for. And you can just hit grill steak. I'm hungry, can you tell? And then it's
Yeah.
going to show you a bunch of videos that even if you're not wanting to create, you could watch. But if you're a creator, let's say you're a grill master and you're like, oh, I didn't think about that. And so
Right.
you can start studying what other people are doing, not to copy them, but to learn from them. So there's so many different ways. And then there's programs like TubeBuddy and
I was going to say,
vidIQ.
TubeBuddy, what are some of the tools that you've used to search some of those
Yeah,
topics?
I use both. Here's the thing: TubeBuddy and vidIQ both have a lot of similarities and some different products. Like you can do what's called A/B testing your thumbnail in TubeBuddy. vidIQ has AI generated titles now they've added and daily ideas, and some of this you can get on free plans and some as a paid plan. But they
Mhm.
both can help you with what's called keyword research. So like
Right.
grill steak, those are keywords, or another way to look at it are topics. So I've
Mhm.
used those before. That's another question you get all the time is which one's better. I think they're both great. If
Right.
it comes down to what I've used TubeBuddy longer,
Okay.
and I know some of the folks there, but I think either one would be fine. I don't know that you need either one
Mhm.
because they can also help you manage and optimize your channel in other ways other than just keywords.
Right. And talk about length of time, because I know I get this question a lot, and I'm not a YouTube expert by any means, but I always get the question, how long should my videos be before people start to kind of tune out? Is it 5 minutes, 15 minutes? What's kind of the sweet spot?
So the answer is yes.
Yes. And
The answer is really it should be as long as it needs to be. And when I used to hear that answer, I thought, what a cop out. Just answer the question, sir. But then I realized it is what it is. And
Mhm.
so I'll give you an example. I did a video based off a question in a Facebook group.
Okay.
And somebody asked about how to change a thumbnail on their YouTube video
Yes.
after you uploaded it. Well, my assumption is everybody knows that, but I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, well, this person asked, maybe they didn't. So I did a video and it's like a minute 20 seconds and it's
Yeah.
gotten thousands and thousands and thousands of views.
I
Now,
love it.
I've also got another video about how I show how to make vertical video in Final Cut, and it's
Mhm.
kind of short and to the point. It's not a shorts. It's not a vertical video, and a lot of the comments I'll get is, "Hey, thanks for just getting to the point on this."
Right.
So
Some
I
people just
think
want to get right into it.
yes, yeah. So I think you have to you have to feel it out. I mean, if we're doing this interview right now on YouTube, it's going to be longer. A
Right.
video podcast is going to be longer, but if it's taking you 20 minutes to show me how to turn a computer on and it's just pushing a
Right.
button. So
Mhm.
again, you go back to it. It's as long as it needs to be, as long as you're, bringing value or showing some personality. But
Mhm.
here's the cool thing about YouTube. They actually show you in your analytics and
Mhm.
everybody gets access to the exact same analytics.
Okay.
Obviously, the longer you've done it, you get more information because they have more information to test.
Mhm.
But you'll see drop offs. You'll see there's a graph in there. It shows you your highest retention videos, and you can actually see where people are dropping off and maybe spikes in there. And so you can go back in and study and go, did I do something specific here? Did I get to the point or not? And so
Right.
you can learn those things. But I think you make it as long as it needs to be. Let the value and the content drive the length.
Yeah. And I think for those who are starting out, don't get so overwhelmed with trying to cover so much in one
Yes.
video.
Yeah.
I ran into that problem in the beginning too. I thought it had to be 15 to 20 minutes long. I thought I needed to cover 5 different topics
Yeah.
in one video, and it just did nothing but give me complete stress and
Yeah.
anxiety. So I started to just break it up into smaller chunks and smaller bits. And those are the videos that do better because, again, yes, getting to the point, and that is addressing one specific question,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
5 questions in one. So
Yeah.
for those
Yeah.
of you starting out, don't feel like you need to jam it all in into one video.
Yeah, because yeah, people can watch it over and over and over again, and you hope they do, and you hope they share it. But the reality of it is, it can be information overload.
Right.
And even the course we worked on together, I mean, it's broken up, hopefully, in pieces and parts where people can
It is.
digest it as they go.
It is. I mean, easily digestible pieces, all under an hour. I was like, I could bang this out, over lunch. This is really great. So another thing, a lot of people wonder how to make money on YouTube. That has always been the question that I get. I put all this time and effort and energy into creating content on YouTube. I made the channel. I made
Mhm.
all the cool looking fun, thumbnails. How do I monetize this channel?
That's a great question, and there's so many different ways. At some point, after you've gotten enough subscribers and views, you can join the YouTube Partner Program. You're invited to join, and I got to tell you, when I got in, it was so cool. I actually recorded getting in and the process and stuff like that. I was like a kid at Christmas.
You have
And
that little plaque, the little YouTube
no,
plaque.
I don't get the plaque. You just get the thing in the dashboard going, okay, you're in. But what that allows you to do is monetize your videos, which basically means you're turning ads on.
Okay.
And so, um, you have to join Google AdSense, which is free, and you connect that. And, I get a check every month. And it's probably the least amount of money you can make. I mean, even huge channels will only make so much because the money ebbs and flows.
Mhm.
But ads placed on videos, cards you've seen pop up. So anyway, that's a way to AdSense dollars. But you can do other things like affiliate links. So like, I have affiliations with Ecamm Live. I put affiliate links to the gear I use. If I reviewed a tripod selfie stick the other day that somebody sent me, not sponsored the video, and so I had an affiliate link for that. And what that means is if somebody clicks the link,
Mhm.
typically Amazon, and they make a purchase, doesn't ever cost you anything extra, but I may make a little money off of it.
Okay.
And so that's something to do. But there's also other things too, like coaching and
Mhm.
consulting, downloadables. I know one creator that has her entire workflow built out on a Google spreadsheet, and she sells that for like 19 bucks. It's a template, and
Okay.
that's one of her big drivers. So there's
That's a really
yeah,
friendly way
hmm,
to upload your course content without
absolutely,
having to invest in a course creation platform. So
yes,
for a lot of coaches
yeah,
and consultants, they may say, "Oh, I need to purchase Kajabi. I need to purchase
yeah,
Thinkific." You could start on YouTube, starting to
absolutely,
upload your course content on YouTube in private mode,
oh yeah,
so not public.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
unlisted,
yeah.
so, you provide your students or your clients with your links. So that's a really great way to save at least 150 bucks a month on a
Oh yeah,
course platform.
yeah, yeah. And so those are different ways you can do that. But then you can get in course creation. You can create digital downloads that you give away or sell.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of things you can do off platform that can still be part of that. Like I just activated the shop tab on mine. So if you go to my channel, you'll see some T-shirts you could buy on there, and that's going. I'm using a third party for that. That's free again. So the design is free. I'm not out any money to print the T-shirts, and so if you buy one, I get a very small cut of that, but they take care of fulfillment. So again, that's YouTube giving me another opportunity to make money.
Right. Yeah, third parties like Printful or
Yep.
Shopify,
Hmm.
all
Yeah.
of those, third parties are
Yeah.
great. Yeah, because you don't have to have that money up front. The money's
Absolutely.
gonna
No.
come
Yeah.
out of your sales.
Yeah.
So that's a really great way to monetize as well. I started to look at YouTube really as a marketing tool
Hmm.
because I know to make money off YouTube, that has to be your full-time job. I mean, even people who are
Yeah.
doing this full-time, they're not even making a ton, right? So we have to be realistic and transparent about it.
Hmm.
So you really have to use it for purposes of marketing and branding, like you said, affiliate marketing, and then maybe just pushing people more towards your courses or services,
Yeah.
product services.
Yeah.
So getting people a little bit more visible.
Yeah. Well, and understanding that YouTube is a long game. I think too many people, and it's easy to get into this trap. You think, well, I've done everything I need to. I've done the research, and this will be just a viral video, which you should never shoot for because you can't predict that. I mean, I've
Right.
got two videos that have blown up on my channel of the many, many, many I've uploaded. I would be so much of a liar if I said, Nicole, I knew both of those were going to do well. Are you kidding? I had no idea.
I
None.
plan that.
Yeah.
I got
In
to
fact, it's the
plan.
ones that I think are going to do fantastic that like suck wind after
Yeah.
time. But
Yeah.
YouTube is a long game. And so it takes time. And I mean, in the past couple of weeks, I've had comments on videos that I've done 2, 3, 4 years ago that people are
Wow.
just now finding, but it solved a problem and they leave a comment, which is nice. So when you understand the power of that, that I mean, there's no do this and you're immediately going to get a million views and you're going to get $1 million and stuff like that. But it is a
Solve a simple problem, right?
yes, yeah, solve a problem. And like you said, I love your advice of like, don't try to do too much in the video.
Mhm.
It's not like we've probably seen these pilots on networks where the first pilot they've introduced everybody's got a backstory. They're trying to cram everything in there because I think deep down they know it's going to be canceled. And so,
Right.
it's like at the end of it, it's like I'm so confused.
Right.
I have
What
no
just happened?
idea. Yeah. Yeah. You don't want your YouTube video to be that way. If it's like, here's what I'm going to talk about. Here's what we're going to talk about, like how to be confident on camera. Maybe you have 3 or 4 points, but then
Yeah.
don't get off into the weeds on something else.
And think about everyone's attention span. It's like this now,
Yeah. Yeah.
myself included. We're so used to scrolling and going through feeds and moving on to the next thing and the next thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
have,
think
I
I'm a
have,
good multitasker. I just have ADD. That's the problem.
I know. I think we all do. It's so funny. I have a really old Mac desktop, and it just started to really operate slowly because it's
Hmm.
old. I felt like I was back in the days of dial-up. I was like cringing because we're so used to things being so fast. I was
Yeah.
ready to just like, okay, be calm. So then you know what I did? I just used my laptop because I'm like, I don't have patience for this. I can't
Yeah.
even wait
There
for
you
it to
go.
load up.
Yeah.
It's
But it
terrible.
worked, right?
We have
So
to
there you
keep
go.
that in
Yeah.
mind. We have to keep it in mind that people don't have time, or they just, they tune out after a few minutes. So
Yeah.
before we wrap up, tell everyone about the course, the mini course. It's
Yeah.
under an
So
hour. It's all about YouTube and why we need to buy it.
So, full disclosure, Nicole reached out to me and said, "Hey, what do you think about doing this course?" And I'd been so I actually produce courses for other folks, but I've yet to do my own. I thought, yeah, you know what? Let's do this because YouTube has been really good to me, and I see the power of it, and I love just consuming on there. So I'm like, you know what? If we can do a course to help people start a channel, it's not a hacks course. It's not like well, and here, the last one, we'll tell you the 5 things to blow up on YouTube. No, it's about helping you get on YouTube. So that's how we went into it. I had a blast putting it together. I think it's a little over 30 minutes, but we're saying like if you follow that, I love your thing, about do it over lunch,
Yeah.
way under 30 days. You can have a YouTube channel that you can grow with, you can play with, you can experiment with, you can hopefully earn a living from. So yeah, so that was the whole purpose of it, is just to help you walk through the steps, give you some motivation. We threw some downloads in there too, like ways to make money, gear
Gloss
recommendations.
over those. Those are super valuable. Your
Yep.
downloadable PDFs are awesome.
Yeah.
The
Thank you.
supplemental resources
Yeah.
are really, really helpful. Talk a
Thanks.
little bit about what those are because I think they're
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. So we did one with like topic ideas. We also did one about ways to make money.
Mhm.
And none of these are guaranteed, but it's just like things you can think of, a lot more than we talked about now. And there's even one that I probably is my favorite, is kind of my workflow. I called it from like zero to video. It's kind of like how you go from the thinking about to the research to the shooting of it. It's not overly in depth. It's not like another course, but it's the process I go through, because I think a lot of folks will even get stuck if they start the channel. It's like, okay, well, I don't even know what to do now.
Exactly. It's the overwhelm of I don't know where to start. There's
Hmm.
so much to do. So the workflow is so, so, so
Yeah,
beneficial. I
yeah.
really
And we
appreciate it.
also threw together some links to threw together. We put some links together too that anybody should know about, from like community guidelines to policies and things like that, because there are things that I really think if you have a YouTube channel, you got to know about, to protect
Yeah, it's
yourself, protect your
professional.
account, and just know what you can and can't do. So there's even a list of that on there just to make it easy for you when you buy the course to follow it and have fun and make money.
Awesome. Well, I love talking to you all the time. I could do
You
this
too.
every week. And
Thank
if
you.
you guys want to see more, hi everyone in Instagram land. I totally forgot we're being recorded. Hey everybody. Yeah, so if anyone wants to learn more about the mini course, all about YouTube, go to tvhostingacademy.com. Thank you to Kevin. And we will see you guys all next time. Any comments? Any questions? Drop them in for Kevin. Bye everyone.